Hello, welcome to Mahastri Academy. Due to some problems, I have not uploaded the video. Today I am going to say you about 10th class second chapter chemical equations. What is a chemical equation? Yes, chemical equation is nothing but it is a shorthand representation of elements in the form of reactants and products. Whenever a chemical reaction takes place, we can observe the following situations. What are those? Let us see here. First, you can see change in its color. Change in the color of products. Next, heat changes. In this heat changes, you can see two changes. What are those? First, plus Q, minus Q. What is plus Q? What is minus Q? Let us discuss in the next topic. And next, third, precipitate formation. Precipitate formation. And the next, gas abort. Yes, so whenever a chemical equation takes place, whenever a chemical reaction takes place, we can observe either any one of these. In some situation, we can observe two or three. Yes, so now let us go with small activities. Yes, so in order to understand, let us take, so this is the activity 1 which is there in our textbook. Activity 1. So in order to understand this activity 1, what I have to do? I have to take one beaker. I have to take a beaker. In this beaker, I have to take calcium oxide. So what I am doing, I have taken a calcium oxide and I am adding water to it. So when I take calcium oxide and when I add water to it, you can observe that calcium oxide changes to calcium hydroxide. So see, calcium oxide reacting with water, it forms calcium hydroxide by releasing some heat. Yes, so now when we done this activity, if you touch the bottom of the beaker with your hand, you can experience some heat energy. Means you can experience the heat when you touch the beaker. Means it is releasing the heat. That is nothing but the exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction is nothing but the reaction which evolves heat. Yes, minus Q. As I have said you here, minus Q. Minus Q is endothermic reaction. What is endothermic reaction? Endothermic reaction is nothing but which absorbs heat. Exothermic reaction which evolves heat. Okay, these are nothing but heat changes. Now let us go with the next activity. In order to understand about next, which is there in our textbook, activity 2. So in order to know about what is there in activity 2, for that, now what I am doing, I am taking 2 test tubes. I am taking 2 test tubes. In one test tube, I am taking barium chloride BaCl2. In another test tube, I am taking sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate. Now what I am doing, I am taking these 2 chemicals in 2 different test tubes and I am adding with water. After adding with water, they will come to a aqueous solution. They come to an aqueous solution. Take barium chloride in one test tube, take sodium sulfate in another test tube and add water to this. Okay, now you mix thoroughly. Now what you have to do, you take barium chloride test tube. Then take a test tube which contains barium chloride with water. Now you add the whatever we have mixed in this test tube, you add in this sodium sulfate. Yes, when you add in this, it forms white color precipitate. White color precipitate. It forms a precipitate which formed with white color. So in this, whatever we have learned already in the first activity, it is very clear that it releases some heat energy. In the second activity, it is very clear that it forms white color precipitate. Yes, next coming to the next activity which is there in our textbook. Activity 3. Yes, what is activity 3? It is very simple. we are learning? Take a conical flask. Take some zinc granules. You take some zinc granules. In the zinc granules, you add acid HCl. Now, these are nothing but the zinc granules. Yes, when zinc is reacting with HCl. What it forms? It forms zinc chloride ZnCl plus. It releases H2 gas. Means, in the third activity, it is very clear that it is releasing some gas. So, already we have learned now, gas evolved. Yes, so here whenever a chemical reaction takes place, in some situations we can observe it changes its physical states or it can change its color. In the second, whatever we have learned in the first activity, yes, that is nothing but heat changes. Yes, in some situations it releases some heat, that is nothing but exothermic reaction. In some situations it absorbs heat, that is nothing but endothermic reactions. And next, precipitate formation, which we have learned in our second activity. When barium chloride reacts with sodium sulfate, it forms white color precipitate. And next, third activity, what we have learned in our third activity? We have taken a conical flask, we have taken zinc. In that zinc, we are adding HCl acid. When zinc reacts with HCl acid, it releases hydrogen gas. That is nothing but gas has been evolved. Thank you.